Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to PlanetBase. My name's Root Negative and let's get cracking. PlanetBase, I'll let the game speak for itself. I played a little bit. We're going to play the Class D. I've done some stuff. Oh, come on. There we go. Irrational Prime is going to be the name of our planet base. So the goal here of the game is to build a colony on a somewhat unforgiving planet. So this could be a bit of fun. Now PlanetBase has been out for a little while now and I'm a little bit late to the party. I did have the game quite a few months ago, but obviously for various reasons I didn't do a series. I am now though. So we have our colonists walking off the ship. You see that we've got like workers. I think they're biologists. That's an engineer and that's a medic. And we've got two helper droids. These are the droids we're looking for. So first things first, we'll do that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have a quick look around. See, okay, so we can build out in this direction. Cool. And there's also a bit of room out here in this direction. Whether we can get across there is something that remains to be seen. So let's go. Let's build our first structures. Are we going to build a solar panel? Okay. Yeah. Let's build it there. Now what I want to do with this airlock is see if I can get it closer to the mountain. Yeah, that looks good. Then I'll connect the power and the airlock together. I'm going to get an oxygen generator. Come this way with it. Now we could build a bigger one, but for the moment I'm just going to stick with the little one because we only need 20 people. The small oxygen generator gives you capacity for 20 people. Yeah, sure, thanks. So we're getting that built, that's good. I wanted to ideally get a water extractor. And I want to build a larger one. So I'll build that in this direction. Okay, so there's the power. They're building the oxygen generator currently. Once that gets built, we're going to have access to a few more things. Now, what I would like is a power collector real quick. And that we're going to put on this side. I think that we go for a big one. Come in that direction. Now up here you can see what resources we've got, and there's only a few resources in the game. It's not heaps of resources. We need to get cracking on the canteen. So you can see that this oxygen generator is slowly filling up our oxygen. And that's transferring out to the airlock. So as I was saying, there's only a few resources in the game. We have metal, bioplastic, medical supplies, spares, and meals. Now there's a few extras as well, some intermediate stuff that we're going to have to build eventually. Okay, the water extractor's good. How are we looking? We've still got a bit of supplies, so that's good news. We're going to build a dormitory. Whoa, pressing the wrong buttons. Now, the dormitory, can you see the little T? The T in the dormitory means that is the end of a corridor. So we can't actually attach anything else off the dormitory. So what we'll do is we'll hook it into the oxygen processor right here, and this way we can have the dorm. It'll be relatively close to the canteen. Now you notice that when the structures are out of oxygen, they go red. But it just takes a bit of time for the atmosphere to equalize in there, and then we're good. So the power collector's up and running, and it's going to gather in some power, hopefully before the sun goes down. You can see here that this is the progress of the day. The days and nights go quite swiftly on this planet. Rightio. So where are we at? We've got the dorm, we've got the canteen. Now the canteen's built, we can actually look at putting a few bits and pieces in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a meal maker. We're going to put a small table. We're going to put a drinking fountain. And we're also going to put a TV. Put the TV there. Okay. So we can control the layout of these buildings as we build them, which is quite cool. Now we're going to want a biodome fairly swiftly. Okay, there we go. Now you notice that at some point the solar panel is going to stop generating electricity for us, Meteor. And at that point, we're going to start using the power that we've stored up. Also, our colonists are going to start to, they're going to start needing things. So for example, this medic needs some O2. So they can only spend a certain amount outside in the in the low Martian air. Eventually they'll have to return inside and get some stuff. So the biodomes are nearly, well, it's being built currently. See that the oxygen for the dorm is equalizing. And what we're going to do here is we're going to put in some bunk beds. So these bunk beds give the colonists a place to sleep. So there's one. There's two. 3. So that's 12. Now at the moment we have 7 colonists, so that's enough bunk beds for the moment. If I press tab, I can remove the domes from here, and that's how I'm going to play for the moment, so that I can see what's happening inside our little planet base, our burgeoning colony. So the biodome is now complete. Now in the biodome, or once it's completed, should I say, we're able to grow things. Very important. Now, after we've got that up and running, we want to move into processing, I think. Now, I like having the oxygen generators. I like having them as a kind of a central hub. Generally, we're not putting anything inside these areas, so they can just act as a central place that we can run things. So we're going to make that processing plant just here, so that we can then, have the mine roughly there-ish. So if we have a look, aha. So you can see that we can place the mine pretty close to the airlock, which is great news. So that's currently running down. The next thing that we want to build, though, I reckon, is a wind turbine. We'll build a big one. Why the hell not? Now we're going to start running out of stuff soon. So our power storage is now running down, but it's going to tip over back to daytime again very shortly. So hopefully we make it through. If we don't, we can always turn off the power to the unessential, unessential things. So you can see that, for example, this colonist is a bit tired, so they're going for a sleep. Quite good, really. So we've got the wind turbine up now, and it's going to generate some electricity when the wind's blowing. So we've got electricity being generated when the sun is shining and when the wind is blowing. So provided we've got both of that, we'll be fine. Like, we'll have plenty of power on tap. If we don't, we'll potentially end up in trouble. Now the meal maker has been built, so that means that now people can come and get meals once we've got the biodome up and running. So let me just slow the game down a little bit. And we'll look at building our biodome. Now the first things that we want are fast growing vegetables. So for example, we're going to go tomato plant, lettuce pad. Oh, I built a small one. Crap. So that's bad. Yeah. Oh. So we're going to recycle this and place down a bigger one. So you notice that I placed the small one. I want the big one. Okay. I was wondering why I had so much stuff left over. While it's doing that, we can place the manufacturing for our steel and our bioplastics. Okay, that's getting built now. We'll turn up the game speed again. And right now we're going to see if we can throw down that mine. I want to get that in. I like it. Because this mine will allow us to build more metals, and the biodome will allow us to eventually make more bioplastics. I'll explain how that works in a sec. Now something important, you'll notice that these do actually degrade the longer they're outside. So a storage facility is on the list. Here we go. So self-sufficiency is a point at which you have enough structures in place that theoretically you can survive. You won't thrive, but you'll certainly survive. So that's a pretty good start, really. 12 minutes and we're already at self-sufficiency. Things will slow down though, obviously, because we're not going to have the raw resources that we've had up till now. So what we're going to do is tomatoes and lettuce. Okay, yep. We want that. No, we don't want any of those. We're going to go peas and rice. And then we're also going to throw in a medicinal plant. Okay, so these will get built steadily. Actually, let's just have... So you notice that these take bioplastics. Now, the way we make bioplastics is we take the starch from these starchy vegetables. It's a byproduct of what happens when they grow. And we throw them into these bioplastic processes. A worker will come along, operate the machine, and that'll turn it into a bioplastic. And that is how we do it. Rightio, so these are now growing. You'll see that biologists are going to come along and they're going to maintain the pads to make sure that they stay in excellent condition. And managing the manpower is something that's quite difficult in this game because your controls are quite coarse. I do have some ways in which we can do it, but that's for future episodes as we get further and further into the game. Lucas Ballard, he's pretty happy by the looks of it. Oh, I'm happy with that. You can see that we've got plenty of power capacity overnight, even though the wind wasn't blowing and, well, the sun wasn't shining because it was obviously nighttime. Oh, meteor. Rightio, how are we doing? So everything in the processing plant is now active. You can see that one of the carrier robots just brought the ore in and placed it in a processor. And you can see here this guy's actually using this to create metals. So we're already getting a little bit of industry going, which is very, very nice. Very, very nice indeed. Now, based upon our resource situation, I reckon I'm just going to throw in a nice decorative plant. Right there. Now, something we need to build quite urgently. And I just want to check a few things here. So, oops, that's the processing plant. We don't want that. We want the... There it is. This is the medic station. So we might tuck this over here in this corner, just off the processing plant. Okay, now what about the storage? Nope, that's the processing plant again. Storage. Because I'd love to be able to just tuck the storage away in here, nice and close to the airlock. Okay, that's important. Ooh, I've just spotted something. We're going to want to be able to throw in, yeah. We're going to want to be able to throw in a base pad as well. Ah, look at that. We can fit it. Oh, that's happy days. We're doing it. Boom. Done. So the base pad allows us to have, yes, thank you, to have other colonists come and join our colony. And that's pretty exciting because we'll be able to expand our numbers. So you see here that we've instantly got some vegetables being produced by the plants. And what I've done here is you can see that this little button, it increases the priority of everything in this building. So right now I'm saying that biologists, the most important thing you need to do is you need to come and have a look at these plants and take care of them. Make sure that they're going okay. We may remove the medicinal plant one, but we'll see how we go. Now thinking ahead. Yeah, I think that what we're going to want to do is throw in a lab quite quickly. We can afford it, so that's, well, we can just afford it. So that's great news. So the lab will allow us to get some meat growing, and meat's really important because your colonists can actually lose their nutrition if you're just feeding them veggies. They're not vegans, and they need some meat. They need bacon. They need bacon because it's grown in space. They need some chicken that's not chicken, or near chicken, shall we say, and a few other bits and pieces for them to actually thrive. Now, base management, here's what I want. Oh, that's, I done goofed. I don't want a base pad. That's not what I want. The base pad is just like the base to these. What I want is the landing pad. Now I just nuked that because hopefully I can fit this in once it's gone. I can't. Bugger. Alright, so it looks like the landing pad has to come out here. It's not a complete deal breaker. We don't have enough resources for it though. Here's the only problem. So we don't want anything for medical supplies. We just want 1, 2, 3. We just want the 3 tissue synthesizers because they will allow us to make the bacon, the chicken, and the beef. So there's 1. So this one's going to make... yeah, that can make that, fine. Now you can see that this robot's running down. He's going to eventually need a spare. And that's one of these. He's going to need a spare to be repaired. Okay, and this can make pork. Rightio, so we got the tissue synthesizers now making our 3 kinds of meat, and I'm really liking this start. We're doing really well. Yeah, the veggies are doing okay. Got some space pasta still sitting around outside. So this needs another 2 iron, 2 metals, and I think that there's another one sitting around somewhere. So it says 4. So you can see that the starch has been loaded into the bioplastics processor, and it's then being converted into bioplastics. See that these need they need maintenance, and that's by a biologist. So we're going to find that biologists are going to be in high demand very shortly. So that's why I'm keen to get this this landing pad up and running. What we might actually do is we might just bump the priority of this for a moment. And we will drop the priority of that. This is all kind of important. It's all equally pressing. There we go. So this guy's going to make us the metal that we need to build this landing pad. And that'll allow us to get some more colonists. So thank you very much for joining me, ladies and gentlemen, in this first episode of PlanetBase. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.